let's talk about single accounts, because we see that a lot of instances are using one single account for all of the things, and let's see why that may not be the best case for you. Let's have a party, and now after that, I want to, let's go through the steps of how to set up your perfect eazyBI instance, how to plan the accounts, and how to implement them. And after that, how to monitor and do the upkeep of your accounts so that they keep running smoothly. But first, I want to take you to a library. Imagine that you are elected main librarian of your university library, and you're responsible for all the knowledge that's there. At the beginning, you decide on, let's have one big room and store all of the books there. All books in one place, all accessible to the people. No special planning necessary, just put everything by, by year or by color, whatever. You can filter the books fast, the filtering works. Anyone that wants to read the books can enter freely, read the books, make some book reports, as the students need to do, make some scientific research. And all of the reports are available to everyone that are coming to the library. So it looks like a small happy place until it isn't no more. So over time, you'll notice that a lot of new requests for new books start to come in. And maybe even the university asks you to store some documents of theirs into the library so they can maybe analyze the documents and make some reports on them as well. You notice that people are spending more and more time just navigating the library and just trying to find the necessary books and to find the reports that they made last week, because they put it in one place and now they can't find it anymore. And you try to think about, maybe I should think about how to secure the documents that the university brought to me, because now they're out in the open in this one whole room that everyone that has access to it, has access to all the documents inside. And if you need to add any changes, for example, if you need to add an attribute to a book, for example, the robotics team asks you to, can we have this one attribute to all of our books? You say, okay, but if I'm adding to your books, I have to add it to all the books. So the next time that anyone will make a book report, he'll have a longer checklist from the things that to choose from. So you get a bit fed up with this, and you understand that you're overwhelmed with work, and you decide to approach the professors in the university. You gather them together, talk to them, and understand that, let's split the library up into smaller rooms, into dedicated sections. You decide upon what should be these sections, for example, by the topics, by chemistry, physics, economics, and this allows you to, first of all, create these rooms for each of the sections, and then you take the responsible professor and make him the main guy of the room, or girl. So this allows for the professors to decide, okay, what is the data set that my students need, and I'll keep only these books in my room. There's not going to be any knowledge irrelevant to this room. So this allows for better performance of the students. They come into the room and they quickly can gather the information. They can do some more complex reports, and all of the book reports they make, they stay in that room and they do not travel outside of the room to other rooms. So, and the professors can specify which students can access these rooms, so that no one from outside or from other rooms, or if you have some sensitive scientific research going on, so you know that no economics students will wander into your room and leak your precious discoveries. And the teams can then, together with the professor, at any time adjust the scope of the books. You can have added some new data, some new scientific papers maybe you want to add to your library, some to integrate from outside. So you can all add it to these rooms. And it's easier to implement these changes because the changes you make in one room, they happen only in that room. So other rooms are functioning as they are, and you're not impacting them in any way. I'm sure you all get that I'm speaking about eazyBI, right? So the library is your eazyBI account. Oh, wow, I don't have the projector is not showing gray colors, so the accounts are flying in the air. Okay, so yeah, the library is your eazyBI instance. And the rooms in the library are the accounts, of course. And the main librarians are the eazyBI admins, yeah? Those are the ones that are responsible for the library to be open each day and accessible. The professors are account owners, user admins, or data admins. These are account-specific roles. And the students are the ones that are creating the reports, sharing the reports, using the reports, looking at them, and trying to understand how are they performing in their Jira. So, but the reason why I'm talking about this is that we looked at the data in our eazyBI for Jira Cloud app, and we noticed that 1/3 of active Jira sites use only one account to analyze their data. These are not small sites. I filtered by sites that have at least 100,000 units imported, and they use only one account. Maybe some of you in the room also use one account. That's great. So I hope I will encourage you to try and expand into more accounts. 2 accounts, better, but still. And we want to encourage you to move into the green zone, and I'm going to tell you the benefits of that. So, how to set up your accounts? First, you'll need to figure out how to split up your Jira data, because it's tempting to import just everything into one account, and then we'll figure it out later how to sort it out. But if you give a bit more time and plan it out to understand what are the logical ways how you can divide up these accounts, it will benefit you in several ways. So after that, we'll check out the tools which we can use to adjust the scope of each of the accounts, and the ideal workflow of how this should execute, and what are the main benefits for each user group. So to figure this out, to figure out which account setup is best for you, we'll take the eazyBI admins. Why? Because they are the one user group that has the privilege to create and delete accounts, and also they have the ability to manage eazyBI global settings and also the global advanced settings. In Jira Cloud, these are organization admins or product admins for your Jira instance. And in Jira Data Center, these are by default Jira system admins, but you can, in the eazyBI settings, also allow Jira admins and specific user groups to be the eazyBI admins, to be the main librarians of your instance. So we gather them together with the professors, or in your company, they may be upper management, project managers, scrum masters, team leads, whichever people are responsible for managing teams and overseeing work in your Jira instance, because they will be the ones that will use the reports, that will create the reports, and that will analyze them. And basically, they are the ones that decide what will they need in these accounts. So, and together, just come up with a way how to separate your Jira into several accounts. And here are some ideas. You can plan the accounts, for example, by department or function. Create an account for your sales team or for your marketing team to import some integration from Google Analytics and analyze the data together with the Jira data. Or, for example, the customer support account that has Jira Service Management integration, or the systems management that can add, for example, the assets management integration. Because the sales team really does not need to integrate assets into their account. The information will just, will be irrelevant to them. And so, the main idea here is to give each of the teams only the data that they need, and don't bother them with unnecessary data. So other way how you can think of dividing the Jira instance into accounts would be by project type, for example, service desk operations, or if you have some agile teams or Kanban teams, you can have several of these Kanban teams and then dedicate an account for each of them. Or you can, for example, create accounts by geographic locations. So for each account, you can set the account's time zone. So this will mean that the hours logged in one side of the world will show up correctly in the reports. They will not show up in a different day, which has happened when the accounts are importing, because time goes on, yeah, and if you log hours in the midnight, it will show up in the morning in the next time zone. So, and we also recognize the need for bigger accounts, for general accounts, where you import like almost all of your Jira data. And these accounts are specific for upper management to see the general progress of the company. You can utilize, and it's good to utilize these accounts to understand how your company is doing overall, but we recommend using only simple reports with predefined measures, because this is a larger data set, and it can cause you trouble if you try to dive deep into daily operational reports. So for daily operational reports, we recommend creating these smaller accounts with smaller data sets, with dedicated teams working on them, so that they can develop more complex reports. And also, I think one of the pluses is that you have more freedom in your own account, because when the company has one large account and you're tasked with doing some reports, it can be daunting just to like touch anything, yeah, because that's the main account. Don't mess up anything. Don't dare to select a new custom field to be imported, because it may mess up something. So I believe that it gives more freedom to the individuals working in the teams if they have their accounts. So, and finally, mix and match. Find your own perfect setup for the accounts. Have a general account. Have accounts by products, by locations, by departments. It all depends on the company and how your company is structured. So, but when you've figured out which is your perfect account setup, you can then adjust the scope for each of the account. And the scope is adjusted primarily by the projects that you've selected to import, by projects and categories. We all know this. And it's important to remember that the projects that you see in that are available for importing are the projects that the user who authorized the import has access to in your Jira. So if you're an eazyBI admin, don't authorize Jira for all of the accounts. Yeah, it's better to create the account and take the professor or the product manager, set it up as an account owner, and make him import the Jira, so that only the data that is available to this product manager can be imported into this account. This is important for if data security is important in your company. The next very powerful tool how to regulate the scope in your account is to use the JQL query filter, which is the same query filter as in your Jira instance. Import only the latest issues. Don't import. You probably will not make a report on the story points created in 2017. So add these. This is the only way how you can limit your issues by time. So please use this, and it will make your instance more lightweight and perform better. And you can also, as I said, this is the same JQL query that is in Jira, so you can also filter by a certain business domain, for example, by incident reported by Jira customer, for example, Jira customer group. And of course, select only the custom fields that you really need. You can add them more later, because the more custom fields you select, first of all, it will clog up the user interface of the report builder, and secondly, it will also grow the size of your database as well. If you're on data center, then please don't use all custom fields for all accounts. Select only the relevant add-ons to be imported. For example, if you have a software development team, import DevOps data for them to see the pull requests and build times. If you have a quality assurance team, import testing data. Don't mix and match if not necessary. And finally, as Raymond already also mentioned, add new calculated fields. So these are in the custom fields section, and they allow you to define your own calculated fields that also are JavaScript calculated. And you don't need to bother the eazyBI admins because they are account specific, they live in the account, and you don't need to be afraid that your calculation will mess up something in other accounts because they only stay in this account. So each presentation has to have one of these slides, just so you remember. So, and there are a couple of more advanced things that you may already know. So you can also use template accounts. If you have a specific set of reports and measures, you can create a template account, and then dedicated child accounts will synchronize with the template account and will always have up-to-date reports and measures that are created in the template account. This is for larger organizations where there are a lot of similar teams that need to be separated. You can also use data access rules to further limit the data within the account. So we have the once data security level is for the user that authorizes the import. So you first limit the data there, that only the user that has access to the Jira projects can import them. And next level would be to further restrict access to data cubes or to individual reports or dashboards, or even more that you can limit access to certain dimension levels. And as Raymond already mentioned, synchronize data to ClickHouse data warehouse. So if you have this general account with all of the issues imported, you can use this ClickHouse data warehouse. This is automatically done in cloud. We automatically synchronize large accounts with the ClickHouse. So if you're on data center, you can use this technology as well. So the ideal workflow would be that we have the eazyBI admins. They create an account based on user request, but they don't select any sources for importing. You first assign the owner of the account, which is the professor, of course. And then the professor should be the one that authorizes the Jira import. This way, it doesn't mean that anyone in the account who has data admin, for example, roles can suddenly add some projects that you wouldn't want them to import and analyze. So, and the product managers can then freely manage the users into the account, so they can add their team of the students or the users that then can create reports, dashboards, share them to their Jira dashboards, and together understand how they're performing. So no need to micromanage accounts for the eazyBI admins. Trust your product managers that they can manage their own accounts. Smaller accounts also put less stress on servers, so that's a smaller chance of having out of memory or timeout errors when creating some more complex reports. And also, if one account goes down, it's just one smaller account, it's not the whole instance. And for product managers, it's the freedom to determine their own KPIs, so to understand which metrics are the ones that are important for my team, and choose for example, for the custom fields necessary to analyze these, and also to define your own measures, define your own ways how to measure the KPIs, and you know that they're going to be there in your account, and you're not going to confuse them with the KPIs of some other teams that they are located in other accounts. Add these new calculated fields without specific permission from the eazyBI admins, without the advanced settings. Just use the JavaScript in the custom fields section. Yeah, and have a strict control of who has access to the data. You don't need to include people from other teams just because everything is located in one large account. You can just manage your own team in your own account. For the users, faster load times for complex reports, and also freedom to interact with their data. And not getting lost in the sea of custom fields that are not relevant to them. So, how do we ensure smooth sailing when we have this beautiful setup with this library with all of the rooms in our instance? We use usage statistics to analyze eazyBI with eazyBI. Can I get a set of hands who has usage statistics enabled? Awesome. Great. That's, I think, half. Like that's a good number, because in eazyBI Cloud it's just 12% from the large accounts. So manage your data based on the usage statistics and also, of course, the needs of users. Yeah, usage statistics are enabled in the settings by eazyBI admins. And once you enable it in data center, the data will be started to gather, but if you enable in the cloud, the data is already there and you will have access to it. This will create you a new account for you. It's called usage statistics, it will be on the top, which you can use as any other eazyBI account. You can create reports there, you can create dashboards there, you can publish them, you can add users to this account and allow them to analyze it as well. This offers you the possibility to see the account. Yeah, I'm not seeing the gray color here. Yeah, this gives you the possibility to analyze your accounts by first of all, by their usage across time, and also to see which accounts have, for example, embedded reports in your Jira dashboards, so that you can understand which accounts are still used and which accounts are not used. For example, a report like this shows us that we have a list of accounts in 2024 that they are being used, but there are some accounts that are being, that the imports are running, but they are actually not used. So you can quickly identify it and then click on the account and choose go to source to investigate further. And of course, you have the all accounts section where you can see the size of each account, what's the import frequency, and you can delete the accounts here as well if necessary. Yeah, so identify the unused accounts, check if the reports and dashboards are shared, and delete them, or just stop the regular imports if you're not comfortable with letting go. You can stop the regular imports and the account will stay there for your archive, but you will not be wasting any resources to do the daily imports in the unused accounts. If a professor leaves your company and you'll find that the account stops importing, you can use this opportunity to understand if you need to reauthorize the source import and continue to import the data, or if you can maybe delete the account. So deleting the account is a natural process of life. It's okay to do that. You're not deleting any data from your Jira. The data in Jira stays always there. So, and please don't be afraid of creating new accounts. You can create them freely, create test accounts to test some new integrations and some new calculations. Create them, delete them, modify them. The accounts are accepting of everything. So I hope that I managed to give you the main takeaways for today's talk about accounts, that don't use just one account to analyze all of your data. Split it up into logical smaller accounts. This will allow you to have faster reports with more complex calculations. This will give you also more robust data security at several levels. And I think most importantly, this gives the freedom to analyze your data, because in smaller teams, great things happen. And after that, everyone can have a beer and be happy about their eazyBI instances. So thank you for listening. I think I'm out of time.
Yeah, you are right on the time. So thank you, Nauris. So does anyone has any questions to Nauris?
I'm happy to speak about this also.
Oh, we will have a nice catch there far away. So I will throw it. So you have to prepare to catch it.
Thank you. So if you were moving from a all-in-one, let's say I've got 4 departments, they've got lots of reports, custom fields, and it's all-in-one, and I want to decompose that, as you say. Because I already have reports, would you use like a template account to inherit those reports and then try to strip down the new separate accounts? Or would you start afresh and then try to export definitions and import them into the new account? How would I actually split and move 4 reports into 4 different accounts?
Yeah, so the template accounts, it's a tempting thing to do, but you need to understand that the reports that you include there, they will be synchronized each time that the data import happens. So if another user in the account later on sees the report and adjusts it and thinks, oh, I'm going to add something to the report, it will be synchronized in the next import and the changes will be erased, basically, in the child account. So I personally would just create new accounts and, as you said, export the report definitions. And you can also export the source definition as well of the account, not of the larger account, but if you create a child account that you want to copy-paste the same account, you can also export the source definition of the account and import that as well to make several of those. Yeah.
Thank you.
So more questions? We still have some time.
I'm happy to talk about this in the coffee breaks and everything, so just approach me and we can discuss this.
So in case no more questions to Nauris, then exactly as Nauris said, it's time for coffee break. So we do have a coffee break for half an hour. We come back here around 11:30 and continue with some customer and partner use cases. So we have some coffee and snacks just waiting for us outside in foyer. Thank you.